Hi, Maria Sanchez broadcasting live with KADYTV.com on the beautiful campus of Oaks Christian School. And I have Coach Riddell with me, Bill Riddell. He is the football coach here at Oaks Christian and has been since the school opened in the year 2000, correct?
That's right, yeah. 2000.
And now, Coach, before we get into the details, and the reason that we're meeting today is because you will be competing against Westlake Village High School, and that will be a home game here at Oaks Christian, and it's the first time that those two teams have met in football. But talk to us about your retirement and then your subsequent return to Oaks.
Well, when did I retire?
I thought you retired after last season.
Well, I was contemplating retiring after last season, then I decided to stay on in the transition here between the Tri-Valley League and the Mariamonte League. So that's what I've done, and then in January we'll sit down and review if I would continue on as the coach or not. So that is yet to be determined.
Now, as a disclaimer, because I'm all about full frontal revelations, I should admit that I am a founder here at Oaks Christian, and that my three sons not only attended but graduated from Oaks Christian, and that my eldest son Nick played with you on the first ever team at Oaks Christian. Then it was a JV team because there was only a freshman and a sophomore class, and Nicholas played all 4 years here, and it was a life-changing event for him and for our family because of not only your leadership but the way you motivate and the example that you set for them as gentlemen, not just players.
Well, I appreciate that. Your son was an outstanding player, and he's an outstanding young man. So we're very fortunate here at Oaks Christian. We've had some great kids go through here. Not only great football players, great athletes, but just great kids. And that's one of the real fortunate things about the school is the faculty and administration have such a genuine concern for the students here that I think it comes through. And people really, I think, have a good experience, learn a lot, but I think their experience here is what makes it all worthwhile.
And as a background, just to let our viewers know if they're not familiar with Oaks, some of the subtleties are that then, I don't know if it's true now, you didn't ever put the players' names on the back of their jersey because it wasn't about individual performance, it was about the team as a whole.
Well, you know, a lot of schools do that, and there's some people that have tried to get us to do it. I just don't, you know, I have really no problem with people that do that. I just never have done it, and I would rather not. I think maybe we did it at Crespi High School when I was there for maybe a couple years, but I just think it's better that you don't put the names on the back. You know, it's a team game, and I don't think we need to point out. But, you know, honestly, there's great teams that do that, and, you know, most of the colleges, I think, do it too. I don't think SC does it, but most of the colleges do it.
And another thing that I noticed that I don't know if it continues, and again because I was around at the beginning and haven't followed through once my sons graduated, was that you had pride as opposed to captains.
That's right. We have what we call the pride, and it doesn't matter how many. It could be 2, could be 3, could be 6, 8 kids, and they're responsible for running the team. They're responsible for the discipline of the team, and anything that they do from a disciplinary punishment to a kid or something like that, they have to go through me first to decide what we're going to do. But they're basically the ones that are responsible for the team, and also on the weekends at parties, they're the ones that are responsible. Has it worked? It works most of the time. Has it worked every time? You know, no. Okay, but it's great when you can be disciplined by your own you know, teammates, and it's worked pretty well over the years.
And finally, one of the other things that was so refreshing is to watch the pride walk onto the field as for the coin toss, and they would be holding hands.
Yeah, well, that's a tradition that we've done here. Now we appoint individual captains for each game, and then you can only take 4 out there. So I think there's 6 members of the Pride. So we have 4 individual captains that we choose each week. The coaches choose each week, but the Pride is something that stays in place from. We appoint those usually around February or March, and then they stay throughout the entire time. That's over the summer, and again, they're the ones that are responsible for the discipline of the team.
So let's fast forward to tomorrow. So here we go. You're in the Mariamonte League, and it doesn't get much bigger than Westlake High. They've been around for, what, 20, 30 years?
At least, yeah. And Jim Benker does a fabulous job over there, and Westlake's a great program. I really admired Jim. He coached with me at Crespi for 4 or 5 years when I was there, and much of the success we had at Crespi is the result of having a quality coach like you know, Benkert run our offense. And we're very close friends, and it doesn't really matter how this game ends up. We'll still be close friends. But one thing that I admire about Jim Benkert, when the Oaks Christian came in, nobody was too excited to have a private school, in the area, including Jim Benkert. But Jim said, wait a minute, they're here to stay. So he went ahead and not rebuilt, because his program was already very successful, but he made a very, very good program, one of the great programs. Why many of the other coaches, in the area, say what a disadvantage they have. Well, not Jim. He went out and built his program, and now he's got one of the finest football programs in the country.
So can you let our viewers know anything about what they might look forward to seeing tomorrow night in the matchup?
Well, Westlake has a great quarterback, great running back. The Nick Isham kid, I think, is one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He can run, he can throw. He'd be a great player to go to Utah or to go to University of Oregon, Oregon State, if he wants to stay, on the West Coast and the Pac-10. He's a great player. They have a great receiver. That's a Division I straight receiver. They got some great linemen. They're very well coached on offense and defense. Play good special teams, and very disciplined program, and one of the better teams that we have played in the 10 years I've been at Oaks Christian.
And what about the Oaks, the Lions?
Well, the Oaks Christian, we are probably, from a standpoint of experience, we're probably a little inexperienced compared to what we have been in the past. But we have some great skilled kids, great receivers, and Jordan Payton, Blair Holiday, and Jordan Payton will be back. Dylan Vanderwall will be back from an injury. He'll play for us. And we also have had some quarterback, not problems, but we just had some injuries with the quarterback situation. So Trevor Gretzky can't play this week, but we're going to go with Richie Harrington, who came in and did a real good job against St. Bonaventure and was able to bring us back to win that game. But I do hope Trevor will come back, because he was our starting quarterback, and he's an outstanding player, as well. But I have to hand it to Richie Harrington. He's come in and done a real good job for us.
And then what about attendance? I understand you're expecting capacity.
Well, I think they cut the tickets off at 6,000 or 7,000, people. So, so it's the largest. Well, I've been told it's the largest single attendance event in Westlake Village history. So we're looking for, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I think we could probably draw 10 or 12,000, but we're going to have to cut it off. I think the fire marshal said, I can't remember the number, 6,000 or 7,000, but I believe it's sold out.
Now, in the years past, big games, there used to be flyovers or parachutes or fireworks, or the police would run their sirens at touchdowns. Is anything planned for tomorrow night?
Well, no, but some years ago, my son was one of the Thunderbird pilots and F-16 fighter pilot, and he just happened to be coming out to Point Magoo, so he flew over with one of his friends, and right around practice time, which was great. But I don't know of any flyovers, but who knows? Sometimes they do some things that I'm not aware of. So if you see somebody parachuting down, who knows? It might be somebody that they set up.
Now, are they going to turn the house after the JV game?
No, the JV, no. Everything. People, when you buy the ticket, you're there for both games. I would advise people to come, at the JV game and stay. Otherwise, you're probably going to have a tough time getting a seat. It's kind of like when we played St. Bonnie in 2006. I think the game was already sold out, and the stadium was full probably a quarter into the JV game.
Wow. So JV kickoff is at what time?
The JV kickoff, the varsity's at 8:30 because of television. It's a nationally televised game over Fox Sports. So the varsity game's at 8:30, so I think the JV game's probably at 5 o'clock.
Okay, and that'll help with the heat too.
Yeah, definitely, if it stays like this, yeah.
And any final comments?
No, I think everybody ought to come to the game. It should be an outstanding game. I think our objective is to make the CIF playoffs, and we were very fortunate to beat St. Bonaventure, so we're 2-0 in the league. I think it's going to be very tough for any team. Westlake, I think, has a chance to go through the league undefeated. But I think any team's going to have a tough time getting through. But I think there's a very good chance, regardless who wins this game, that we might play again in the playoffs.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for taking the time, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Coach Bill Riddell, we're on the campus of Oaks Christian. Maria Sanchez, KADYTV.com.